Okay, my good friends, it's Roger at this university, and I have home school is open, free, factual, and fun, open for 2 hours. Hook up with this. I am going to give you the real facts and the truth. And here's something that has been really gnawing at me. Finally, Harvard agrees biology is in space. Harvard, Cornell, and then, I know that Mary Schweitzer, who is an extremely good researcher and discovered T-Rex blood long ago and was severely punished for it. Now, I can't be punished for it because I don't care. Now, she is walking a very cautious line, as you will see. All right, I put this out last week, and I could not find Mary Schweitzer's article anymore. Let's play this from 11 minutes on. There's a bunch of other stuff. Here. All of a sudden, I see she posted about cells being found in a meteorite. And I said, ooh, this is amazing. So I try to get back in contact with her again, and all of a sudden that article's missing, and these guys take over. It's a protein discovered inside a meteorite. Now, this is March 3rd. This is only a couple days ago. And now we're into this Bruker Scientific in Harvard. And then Cornell came out, and I could not find Mary Schweitzer's article. So someone, I put out a feeler. I says, hey, anybody got her article? Because I searched and I couldn't find it. I'm not kidding you. And I did get it. Here it is. All right, now I go a long way back with Mary Schweitzer because I was the first one that I know of to find the soft tissue fossils that I found. She found blood cells, I believe, inside a T-Rex bone. Now, this is about her discovery here working through China. She's affiliated with some China university now. I don't know why. But this is only on the 4th of 2020. Now, somebody sent me this after I put out the feeler here, and it says ancient dinosaur remains contain something that looks and acts shockingly like DNA. And she's afraid to say it is DNA. And here it is again, leading molecular paleontologist Mary Schweitzer, who joined the research after first seeing the skulls, has claimed in the past that Tyrannosaurus rex fossils can preserve protein cells for millions of years, and it was met with much controversy. They literally slammed her. She should have been accelerated to the top, and she was pushed to the bottom. So what happens today? Today she chooses her words carefully. Don't ever say anything against those people. They will destroy you, and that's a fact. She says, I'm not even willing to call it DNA. It's, well, let me show you something in a second, because I'm cautious, and I don't want to overstate the results. I don't want to get destroyed again. Well, I have DNA. My tests are 100% certified. I have 3 of them, ancient protocols, giant fingertips, and a lung that is human, and any anatomist, you can't possibly overstate that. That's just a human lung. I had it looked at by an anatomist. It's got every bit of it. It's got all the fabric of the pleura. It's got the pattern of the human lung. It's got the depression of the heart on the human lung. It was from a flood victim, and all of the stuff I have virtually is, and a lot of it is gigantic, and it is DNA certified, and I will make that statement, and I will stand behind it, and I want them to come against me and say, oh, no, Roger, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong, and they won't do it because I have them by the stones. That's a new species. Well, that's a stone. I have them by these stones. All right, you see that right there? That is blood. We're going to look at this in a microscope in a second, and that is skin tissue, and that is the pattern of a no-toe. The toes are in here. We have dozens of these, and we have them in any forms of decay, where you can see right inside them, just like a CAT scan. Tish has them. Where do you see the... It's so unbelievable that this has been not allowed by our universities. And let me just show you what happened to her. I told you, here, look. This is the last time I saw her was back in 2017. I don't care what they say about me. They beat her up. It's Mary Schweitzer. So I want to elevate her to her status, her rightful status. This is 12 years ago. She started down this road, and they just, you know, if you're making your living doing this, you cannot speak. Now, I don't care because I'm not making my living doing it, but I have all of the things that prove exactly what I'm saying. So I see a fiduciary failure in the academic arena. Now, I was a business person. I had to act in the best interests of my customers because they had to trust me. I presented them with software and a platform to operate their business. Now, if I worked strictly for my best interest and disregarded theirs, which is what's happening right now with the mud fossils, I would be held legally responsible. It's called fiduciary obligations. You know, anybody that's in the financial, and this is, you know, I'm sure there's a case to be made for this. And it could be very serious. I mean, these kids are paying a ton of money. And I see it as, you know, I have my own opinions. I'll keep them to myself now. But I never have. And they're easily to see. That I see someone that doesn't act in the best interest of their client as acting fraudulently. I mean, that's... Yes, it is. Let me just show you something. Okay, my friends, I would think that if I presented this to some university, they would be interested. These are obviously some form of hominid-looking things that are not ours. And I don't know if I showed this to you yet, but I will. And they're extremely obvious that this is some form of a new species that is unknown and not a single university. And I approached many, many, many. Not one responded back to me. So... It doesn't sound good to me. Now, that's an eroded no-toe. Inside it, they have these springs. That's the leg. That's some kind of constructed foot. And this is what it looks like here when they're not all decayed. Now, I don't know what that is. That looks like it's some kind of a seal on the front of the guy's foot. And that is the foot, and I'm going to show it to you in the microscope in a second. All of the, she has the exact same thing. I work with, this is Tisha Egerton. I worked with her in great detail, and she has an absolutely stunning discovery. All right, look at that. That's the foot right there. That spring twists up this way. It's a torsion spring. And as it does, it pulls in this way, so you got spring, spring. That's the heel. That's the strap that runs right up to the bone that sits in that saddle right there. That's the tendon. Now let's go look at the anatomical. All right, she has batches of these. And these would have been, that would have been enclosed just like this one here. All right, and it's eroded away. Same thing here. The toes are inside of them. You see it? Same thing here. Now that looks like it's got a wing nut on holding the bottom pad in there. And they had big pads. You see that? There's a pad in the bottom. And it's missing. That would have been big. I'm telling you. The ones that I have other ones. And the pad goes right down like a round ball. It's absolutely amazing. All right, just here's the whole thing in a snapshot so you can look at them together. That is the heel. Okay, this one's facing this way, this one's facing that way. That's the heel, that's the strap, see? It runs up to the bone, it sits down in that saddle. Now, this is the same thing here. That's the heel. That's the tendon that sits right up against the bone that sits down in that saddle. Now, that's the springs, spring, spring. The toes are missing. All right, the toes fall off, and in this one down here, the toes are missing off the end. Now, that's mine that I have here. You know, we all have the same stuff. This stuff is not uncommon. It's not like I have something special here. I have just researched it. Almost everybody has this stuff. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, I have rocks forever. I have rocks coming out of my ears. The people that, look, this is what the average guy's garage looks like. There's the rocks everywhere. I mean, maybe not this bad, but I'm telling you, everybody, it's absolutely overwhelming, the number. It really it is. And I'm sorry that I'm not responding to a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So that's my apology. I know there's a lot of people, and I just can't even say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I just can't help you. It's just, woof. Okay, anybody that's been following understands that's the fabric of this mud fossilization process. It's called fascia, or it's the wrapping, the tunica. You see that triangular looking? I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can or not. But what that is these have fabric, literally a fabric. It wraps around and seals it. And inside is the bone, and that's the membrane that protects it from the external environment. Now, they are fed with blood. See, the blood comes out through these little pores and so forth. Bone foramen, they call them. There's a vein and an artery come up through there, sometimes a nerve, and that's what they look like. This is that kind of fabric. Now, let me show you some other shots here. That's with the scab on there. Here's one where I'm starting to take it off. You see here? This is called fibrin. And it's in use, exact same thing happens. This is the blood cells congealed. The fibrin sets up on the wound, and the blood cells invade the fibrin. It's just like a clotting fabric, and that's what does it. Now, and then underneath that is where the holes are. Now you see these holes right there? You see the red over here? This red area? That's the artery. Arteries are red because they have the extra oxygen. The vein is black in mud fossils. In your body, it's blue, but you never see blue blood squirt out of you, because when it does, it's instantaneous. It becomes oxygenated and turns red. It's the same thing happens in your lungs. Now look, you see over here? I follow this stuff pretty careful. I'm not guessing most of the time. Now, I have lungs here that bled all over the place. I'll show you some shots from that. I've shown that so many times I don't want to do it again. I'll just clip into here or there in some other videos. But I fully understand this stuff, trust me. I got the chemistry down, I have DNA tests, I have anatomists. This is a giant toe. That's a giant toe. Now I'm just going to show it to you. What the hell, I just did it the other day, but I'm going to do it again. Here goes. Stick with me. Alright, here we go. Now, that's a toe. That is the toenail. Alright? Now, I'm going to show you the fabric, too. I told you they're all wrapped with fabric. First of all, that's the guy's callus. That's a callus on the guy's toe. It's a big left toe. That's his big toe. Now, that's the callus. You see that? Now, you see this kind of fabric-y looking stuff? That's grip skin. See that? Let me show you some in the microscope. Now, that's the calcified pad that is in the back of the toe. It gives you that you know, it's here and there in your fingers and toes. Now, this is the side. That's the kind of little fuzzy skin that goes up against the other toes. You know, the other big toe. Now, remember I told you I'm going to show you the the wrapping, watch this. Anytime you want to see something and get some pretty good detail, put a little water on it. All right, now. You see that? That's the fabric. It wraps right around, and they're on every single one of them. If you know what to look for, you can find it. And it seals it as it's just what it does. And it's a wrapping that the ancient Greeks called it tunica, like a tunic. And that wraps right around here. There's some kind of structural. It's used in the structure somehow, and I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it seals the bone inside from the external surfaces. But I also think it has something to do with, you know, holding the structure together, because this is grip skin. That's where you're really, when you're running and all that business is sliding and everything, that's serious skin. And that has got to have some kind of really integrity. And I see them mostly on the toes and fingers. They're real evident on the toes and fingers. Where do you see this? Let me show you something. There's one in my backyard here. Hold on. Well, I don't know what is visible or not, but that is the tendon coming down. You see that big thing there? I believe that's a tendon. And there's one on the other side. And of course there's blood supply coming through here. I don't know exactly where it is, to be honest. But this is a toe from my smaller giant. Alright, the bigger one is much bigger. And I have a toe or a finger from that one. I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so this is that fingertip. I was out there looking at it today. It's a little rainy now. That's the fingertip fingernail. And on the other side is the fingerprints. I mean, they're perfect. Absolutely flawless. And might as well show it to you now. Alright, this was years ago, and that is the fingernail, and I got on the other side of it and I hit it with a sledgehammer and I broke this off, which is the fingerprints. And I mean, these are fingerprints, absolutely flawless. They don't get any more perfect than that. Alright, and if you want to see blood, I'll show you blood in here, because I did send off blood and had it DNA certified as human mitochondrial DNA. Now, if anybody wants to fight this and say this is wrong, come on down. Come on down. I'm going to show you the arteries, or I'm going to show you blood vessels in here. This is the thickness of the skin on, just like our skin. And then right below, it hits where the meaty sort of stuff is. But inside here, I'm going to show you all kind of blood vessels and everything, because this gets serviced with blood. So hold on. We're going to go up above here. Hold on a second.